I try and smile about it now. I'd only been at Tranmere for just over a year, and I felt like I'd not done myself justice after they paid for me and brought me in from Rochdale. And at that time, I felt like I was ready to move on. I said I'd met Chantel now, and
Chantel's your wife, by the way.
My wife, yeah. And she had fallen pregnant, so I felt like it was a natural progression for me as a footballer, but also as a man to move on. And once they'd accepted the bid, I did feel like I was half out the door. So I went to Tranmere. I played the first season, and we'd done okay. I'd done okay, but I felt like I'd not done myself justice. And I really went away from that season wanting to show my worth, not only to the manager, but also to the team and also to the fans, because they're a great set of fans and they know their football. So I took a week off from holidays and really didn't come off it. I kicked on and did a load of work off season and was in the gym, doing sprint training, all the things to try and kick on. And then October 23rd came round and I'd been playing well. I'd been scoring goals, I'd been getting man of the matches, and everything was where I really wanted it to be. But I'd fallen unwell, and I'd been unwell for quite some time, but I didn't know why. And I'd been struggling with it in a few games. And I went and spoke to the club doctor. He then sent me to the hospital and told me to have a chat with the professor because I had some lumps popped up in my lymph nodes in my neck. And on October 23rd, the professor told me that I'd got cancer. And it was of my immune system. And yeah, it just knocked me off my feet. It was just totally unexpected. I thought I'd probably got some sort of virus or infection. And yeah. Look, it's not a day I really enjoy reliving in a way, but it's a day that I'll obviously always remember.
I don't want to make you relive it too much,
No.
But when you get that news, what is your first thought? I mean, what was football like?
No,
your third
my first thought
fifth
was
thought?
yeah.
Like,
My first
what's your
thought
first
was,
thought?
Like, I'm supposed to look after everybody. Like, I've got a little girl who's just turned 1, and my first thought was really Lula, Chantel, telling my mum, telling my brother, telling my immediate friends and family. Like, I suppose I felt maybe inadequate, weak, and I've just fundamentally been told that I have got a major issue with me. Why me? How? I'm a professional footballer. This shouldn't happen to me. All those things, but I've never been a victim of my hardship. So after a few days, when I probably processed it and digested it and spoke to a few people about it, I started to look and Google things, and a lot of things on the internet do tend to lead you towards death. But I tried to hold on to the positive stories that I read, and then once the news broke to the footballing world and worldwide in a way, messages came flooding in of people that had experienced it, had it, gone through the same chemotherapy that I was going to have to undergo, and they were still here to tell me the tales and tell me what was coming up. So I was thinking to myself, well, if they're still here, then you know what? This illness does take lives and continues to take lives, but maybe I might be one that survives and gets over it and overcomes the battle. I know it's not going to be easy. Didn't know how hard it was actually going to be because I was totally ignorant and naive to it all. But yeah, I think my immediate thoughts were my family and people around me, and then what happens with football. I remember talking to a professor on the day and saying, so what's the procedure. He's like, you're going to have 6 months worth of chemotherapy every 2 weeks on a Monday, and see how you get on with that. So I said, well, I'll be back around April time to get like the back end of the season. And he correctly and rightly said at that time, you really need to forget about football, because your life's dangling by a thread. After looking at the scans and whatnot, I had it everywhere in my immune system. Large masses on my chest, in and around my neck, where the biopsy was. So yeah, I was pretty riddled with cancer, if I can put it that way.